Sahanam Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Together we chant Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, verses 18 to 27.
ऊर्ध्वं गच्छन्ति सत्त्वस्ताः मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति राजसाः जघन्यगुणवृत्तिस्थाः अधो गच्छन्ति तामसाः नान्यं गुणेभ्यः कर्तारम् यदा द्रष्टानुपश्यति गुणेभ्यश्च परं वेत्ति मद्भावं सोऽधिगच्छति गुणानेतानतीत्यत्रीन् देही देहसमुद्भवान् जन्म मृत्युजरा दुःखैः विमुक्तो मृतमश्नुते। अर्जुन उवाच कैर्लिङ्गैस्त्रीन् गुणानेतान् अतीतो भवति प्रभो किमाचारः कथं चैतान् त्रीन् गुणानतिवर्तते। श्रीभगवानुवाच प्रकाशं च प्रवृत्तिं च मोहमेव च पाण्डव न द्वेष्टि सम्प्रवृत्तानि न निवृत्तानि काङ्क्षति। उदासीनवदासीनः गुणैर्यो न विचाल्यते गुणा वर्तन्त इत्येव योऽवतिष्ठति नेङ्गते। समदुःखसुखस्वस्थः समलोष्टाश्मकाञ्चनः तुल्यप्रिया प्रियो धीरः तुल्यनिन्दात्मसंस्तुतिः मानापमानयोस्तुल्यः तुल्यो मित्रारिपक्षयोः। सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी गुणातीतः स उच्यते मां च यो व्यभिचारेण भक्तियोगेन सेवते स गुणान् समतीत्यैतान् ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते ब्रह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठाहम् अमृतस्याव्ययस्य च शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य सुखस्यैकान्तिकस्य च
Ajay Kasotia. At substratum, we are vasanas, unexpressed likes or dislikes, which gunas will eventually convert them into want and then manifest them into positive desire attraction or negative desire repulsion. At substratum, we are vasana, unexpressed likes or dislikes. No, at substratum, we are the self. Covering the substratum is our vasanas. When vasanas manifest, okay, then they are classified. This classification is known as gunas. There is no entity called gunas. So when the thoughts are in a particular way, they are called tamasic. In another way, they are called rajasic. In a third way, they are called sattvic. That's just a classification. Another kind of classification we make is mind and intellect. When thoughts are in this way, they are called mind. When thoughts are in that way, they are called intellect. So there's no such thing as mind and intellect. There's no such thing as tamas, rajas, sattva. It's not an object. It's a classification. There are other classifications. Mano, buddhi, chit, ahamkar. That is another kind of classification. But they're all classification of thoughts. Different types. Okay, so let's read this again. At substratum are vasanas like unexpressed likes or dislikes. You can say that there are unexpressed likes and dislikes. That is an acceptable way of putting it. Which gunas will eventually convert them into want. Gunas don't convert anything. When they get converted, they get classified into the three gunas. And then manifest them into positive desire attraction or negative desire propulsion. That's correct. So then either you will want something or you want to get away from something.
Thank you.
Where were we last time? We were udasinavat. Udasinavat. So that vat is very important. Udasina means unconcerned, indifferent, not bothered. Udasinavat. Vat means like a person unconcerned. That means when you look at him, you think he's unconcerned. Suppose some major thing is happening. Okay. Just as an example, okay, I am not pro or anti anyone, but let's say that there is some major thing happening. You know, he's meeting Donald Trump, or he is hearing that there is some attack that has taken place on Indian soil. If you look at the Prime Minister's face, it looks almost the same both ways, right? So you feel like he's unconcerned. No, he's not unconcerned. He's taking action. He's thinking and he's taking action. Just as an example, please, all Modi bhaks don't be for me and all anti-Modi, please don't be against me. It's just as an example. So let's say a chairman or a managing director, he hears that this has happened in that factory, this has happened there. He doesn't start jumping. He continues to look the same. How do I express this? I don't know. Or for all the girls, all the ladies, when you tell your husband anything, how he has an impassive face, no change in reaction. I don't know if you face this. I face it at home. No reaction. Absolutely no. You say, guess what? I just got a PhD. No reaction. Guess what? I just lost something. I just lost $1 million. No reaction. Like one unconcerned. Unconcerned means, but obviously the concern is there. You cannot see it. It's like Einstein, you know. If he finds something, he doesn't start dancing. So, like one unconcerned, that means your concern is so much of a concern to you that you're not willing to let your mind get in the way of this. You're going to handle it so well that you're completely focused. And when you're completely focused like that, your mind is not carrying on. Yeah, Deepraj?
So this like one unconcerned is an internal thing. I mean, we can only observe it within ourselves because say if we were in front of a realized person, his reaction will be appropriate to the situation. So it's not really that we'll be able to say whether or not he's concerned.
That's correct. Because you see, when we're talking about a realized person, that person may start jumping straight away. But that jumping is not coming from an uncontrolled mind. So you can't tell with others. You can at most tell with yourself, and occasionally you can see some people are more objective than others. Otherwise, you'll say, what are you saying? Krishna will start jumping if when he's dancing with the gopis. Where is he behaving like one unconcerned? No, he's capable of dancing and being unconcerned. He's capable of it. Udasinavat. Many people misunderstand scriptures and they all go all into मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता पढ़ना चाहिए. How can you say कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता? Makes no sense, right? So udasinavat. You're okay, no, Deepraj? Gunehi na vichalyate. By the gunas, he is not chal. Chal is move. Vichalya means is like very moved. Why is he not moved? Because he understands it as a fact of life. I don't know if you all saw that. They asked me to make a video on disease. What is the Vedantic view on disease? What the Vedanta has no view on disease. What am I supposed to say? Other than the fact that this is just a part of life, right? Vedanta is not a medical science. It has nothing to say about disease. It has just this to say, if you have a body, that body will be born, it will grow, it will have decay, it will have disease, and it will have death. Just a fact of life. That's it, right? So similarly, if there is a human being in front of you, then that human being will have tamas, will have rajas, will have sattva. What were you expecting? A fourth guna? What were you expecting? No, he shouldn't be like that. People should all be sattvic. Simple common sense. In this world, do you expect the majority of people to be tamasic or rajasic or sattvic? If you take the whole globe, what do you expect?
90% tamas.
Oh my God, you're really dark. Okay.
Combination of Rajas and Tamas, predominantly.
Okay. So these are your expectations. So Deepraj will say 90% I meet tamas. So everybody in this class he has to be delighted with because they're all above you. They're not in that category. Bharat says there'll be a mix of tamas and rajas. So that means everybody he meets should be wonderful because everybody meets within the range of the class at least. Because better than the general average, one would say. But the thing is, if you do meet tamas or rajas, what will you say? I'm in the right house. Isn't it? This is correct. If I meet sattva, I should say, oh wow, this is super. But if I meet tamas or rajas, then what else am I expecting to meet? Tamas and rajas is the default option. Sattva is the option of effort. So therefore, he is na vichalyate. He is not. He is not. What else were you expecting? In the morning, do you get up and say every day, "Oh my God, look, the sun has risen"? What else were you expecting? Par for the course. Just par for the course. This is it. So, having met any guna, he is not moved by it. He's not. He's very literal, and it's a nice usage because chal, you understand chal, chal movement, and vichala is visheshena, especially moving. So he's not. And in English also, that usage is the same, not moved by something. It's a nice way to translate that. The meaning comes out. Sometimes when you change languages, the meaning doesn't come. Yeah, Mahesh? You're muted.
Yeah, regarding this question that you asked, what do you think people generally in the world are? Which gunas are predominant in them? So when Yudhishthir was asked that question, he said, "Everyone that I meet is good. I couldn't find anyone bad." And when Duryodhana said that the opposite, so what does that say? I mean, when Yudhishthir says he met no bad person, did he say? Did he relate? Does it relate it to gunas basically?
It is because your gunas determine how you look at the world. Means all it's trying to say is your mind is making your world. If your world, in Sanskrit, the word for experience is the word for world. There is no difference between world and experience, right? So, based on the kind of person you are, you will see the world in a particular way. That's all it's saying. So, you don't
So
have to
does
take
it
it
mean
literally. Don't take it literally because you're making poor Deepraj feel very bad. No, you can't take it literally like that. It is you can also make an objective statement that most people in this world do what? They wait for action to be taken on them. They are more reactive than proactive, right? So that way you can claim that most people are tamasic. They'll say, "Oh, I've fallen ill. What should I do?" This is how people behave generally. It takes education to say, "I have not fallen ill. What should I do?" Or, "I have a financial problem. What should I do?" is a common question. "I don't have a financial problem. What should I do?" is an uncommon question. Most people will want to solve a relationship problem. They will not say, "I don't have a relationship problem. What am I going to do? Like, how am I going to prevent it in the future?" So that way, that attitude is a tamasic attitude. Especially now, even if we are trying to raise funds. So many organizations don't want to help us raise funds. I mean, these crowdfunding platforms and all. They say you have no emotional appeal, no urgency, no emotional appeal. Where is our Omkar? He will also tell us that. Where is your emotional appeal? Where is your urgent need? This is tamasic way of looking at it, right? Are we going to wait till it's an urgent need? Or do we recognize as an important need? So that way, an objective stance can tell you something. But when this question was asked in class, the point of asking that question was, according to you, what is it? If according to you, 70-80% are tamasic or rajasic or whatever according to you it is, then why are you surprised on meeting it? 70-80% of the time you have to meet it. That was the point of the question. So because explaining the point, one is not one is not moved by the gunas. How is that possible? You meet something really horrible, how are you not moved? Or you meet something really wonderful, how are you not moved? It's an explanation of that.
Okay, thank you.
So not moved because that is exactly what you expect. If you have a nagging wife and when you go home she nags you, then you say, "I'm in the right house." If you have a nagging wife and you go home and she doesn't nag you, Then you say, Arey Bapre, did I enter the wrong house? It's clear, right? Suppose you have a child who never listens to you, and then when you tell the child something, the child doesn't listen to you. And you say, oh, I'm in the right house. If one day he suddenly listens to you, then you should say, what happened? यार ये बीमार है क्या? क्या हुआ क्या इसको? Isn't it? It's just matter of fact. There is no more powerful equipment you have than recognizing of facts. जो है सो है. Right? Suppose I become 60 years old and my hair go white. Well, what was I expecting? They would go pink? Isn't it? Suppose I grow 80 years old and then I have knee problems. Then what am I expecting at 80? To develop pimples? What were you expecting? Things are all going about their normal processes. What are you jumping up and down about? Simple, no? So simple it is. When you come to Vedanta, suddenly all the complications disappear. Everything is happening the way it should. Everything is happening the way it should. That's correct. And if you say, no, it should not be like that, people should be more sattvic. How can they be so indisciplined? How can they be listening to all this rubbish? What is this Valentine's Day going on? Oh, they should not do all this. They should do this. क्या बोले? अच्छा बोलो, फिर बोलना है तो बोलो. But by your saying all this, nothing is going to change. So why are you wasting your breath? So it's actually quite cruel to tell people to be different from what they are, if you think about it. Because how can they be? They are helpless victims of their own vasanas. There's no option but to be that. Suppose there's a lame person, you tell him, run fast, run fast. You're being cruel, no? So if there's a hot-tempered person and you say, don't get angry, you're being cruel, no? I mean, how can you tell a person not to be himself? It's a form of cruelty. And the opposite is, he's just behaving in the most natural and normal way. It's a mental attitude, okay? You can take whatever action you want, but your mental attitude is to be expected. This is what is to be expected. So that's him, not moved by the gunas. And realizing that only gunas function. Only gunas function. Guna Guneshu Vardhan. And they will all meet each other. If you're a gambler, who will your friends be? They'll be other gamblers. If you are a Vedantin, who will your friends be? Other Vedantins. If you are a business person, who will your friends be? Other business people. If you're a student, who will your friends be? Other students. So these gunas, they all meet with one another. You will also see now that suppose all of us go to the plot. Okay, in April we are trying. Everybody fingers crossed, hoping that in April we will have our first retreat at the plot. Poor Jayashree is looking very worried. Jayashree, don't worry, we will try to do it. But if we can't, we'll do something else. He's looking like terrified, oh my God. Right, but fingers crossed that we will be able to do this. Now, when we go there, many of us have not met each other, right? So we'll be like a lot of level playing field, all of us. After a little while, what will happen?
The knives will come out.
The grouping will start. Whatever your nature is, suppose Deepraj goes there and then somebody else is into mathematics, then you will gravitate in that direction. and Bhavna comes, and then somebody else is into psychology, then she will gravitate in that. Slowly the grouping will start because all the gunas will attract and repel. As a Vedantin, you have to be careful that you don't just get flown away. But in the normal course of events, this attraction and repulsion keeps on happening wherever the gunas. Okay, suppose there are other lovers of bhajans. Where will all the lovers of bhajans go?
Aditi.
To Aditi. They will gravitate towards her. They say, "Acha, ek aur galo na, ek aur galo na." They say, "नहीं बाबा, अब मैं मुझे गला थका हुआ है, नहीं एक और." Or she'll say, "Yeah, chalo, chalo, सब और गा लेते हैं." But to start on time and to stop on time, that's where effort takes place. So automatically this gravitation takes place. Whatever your gunas are, you get attracted to similar gunas. So you have gunas, there is gunas in the world, this gravitation takes place and repulsion takes place. But if you are putting an effort in your sadhana, is firm and moves not. Why not? Because all this is happening in the realm of the gunas. But you are
Gunatit.
you are the self. And the other person is also the self. So you have an identification with people beyond their individual gunas. And that's where we have to reach. So that's what he's referring to. Realizing that only gunas function. These are gunas, they will take place. Whatever is happening will happen. And then it happens. So what? My identification will change. So he who seated like one unconcerned is not moved by gunas. Please take this very carefully. It doesn't not move doesn't mean doesn't take action. He will take action if action is necessary. He will also function with the gunas. Obviously, right? All of us will be rather be with other Vedantins than we would be with, I don't know what, gamblers. It'll happen. Let it happen. Let the normal and natural course of things take place without us going in and all the time having a comment on it. And beyond it all, you realize that there is a far more important entity here. There's a far more important aspect here. Gunas is the surface. At the bottom is the deep tranquility of the self, is the oneness, the sameness of the self. And that is where I'm really focusing. And this guna business is going on its own. It's normal, right? Day will come, night will come, monsoon will come, monsoon will go. Sometimes drought will come, then drought will go. All this will go on. Disease comes, disease goes. Men may come and men may go, but I go on forever, said the book. There is something that goes on forever. Our focus has to be on that, not on anything else. So he's explaining the concept, excuse me, he's explaining the concept of the self-realized person with reference to sadhana. Because he'll say, oh, he has infinite love, he's got infinite this, infinite that, so main kya karu? But the way he is explaining it, which is a very beautiful thing they do, is they explain the state of perfection in terms of sadhana. So what is our sadhana? Keep focused on the substratum. Keep focused on the nityavastu, on the important thing. And everything else will follow its course. It's natural laws, they'll follow their course. Black hair will become white. White hair will become no hair. This will happen. No, won't happen. Oh, you wait till you're 9,500. Will be nice. Like, what's her name? Padamsi. What was her name? Padamsi, right? What was her name? No, nobody remembers. Nice name. Like you will, Brian. Slowly we'll get there. This face, which looks like this, in some time will look different. Very different. These things will happen. Not them. Let them means not that, oh, let my face be horrible. Just put your cream, put your sunscreen, whatever on earth you're doing, please do. But you understand that this is just natural. My real concern is with something else. Now, what is that something else is for each one to determine for themselves. Since you are in this class, one assumes that you have some inclination towards the divinity because that is the essence of it. So, as far as possible, tune into it. Verse 24. Samadukha-sukha-swasthaha Tamaloshtaśma-kanchanaha Tulya-priya priyo dhiraha Tulyanindatma-samstutihi Samadukha-sukha-swasthaha Samaloshtaśma-kanchanaha Tulya-priya priyo dhiraha Tulyanindatsa-samstutihi Samadukha-sukha. Same in joy and sorrow. How can one be the same in joy and sorrow? Are you a piece of stone? How can you be same in joy and sorrow? You can be same in joy and sorrow through various ways. Firstly, to understand the very important role of sorrow in your life. Do you realize how important sorrow is? Because if there was no sorrow, you would not know joy. Happiness is only a matter of contrast. Until there is a drop in your happiness, you don't even know you're happy. So sorrow is very important. It gives you the kick of happiness. It won't give, there'll be no kick in happiness if there was no sorrow. So there cannot be only joy, otherwise you will be bored stiff. You want the sorrow. See, suppose in your marriage, there was no trouble at all. It was just going on very smooth, no problem, nothing. Somebody would say, do you have a happy marriage? You have to stop and think, do I have a happy marriage? You don't know. Because nothing is happening, nobody is fighting, nobody is screaming, nothing is happening. Thing, is this a happy marriage? I guess so. You don't know. But suppose it was a nice marriage and a lot of drama taking place. One day you're fighting, one day you're friends, one day you're fighting, one day you're friends. Then the full soap opera, no? So entertaining. Otherwise, so boring. Then why do people watch these soap operas? Do you realize why people watch the soap opera? To see all the problems that other people are going through. What fun! वो पता है क्या हुआ? Something कसौटी something की पता है उस लड़की का ना उससे कुछ हो रहा था किसी को पता ही नहीं था. कसौटी किस्मत की वो कसौटी किसी चीज की
Zindagi.
जिंदगी. Oh, okay. I don't know what that thing is about. I've never seen it, but I'm assuming it's somebody is falling in love with somebody, somebody is falling out of love with somebody, something like that. Some mother-in-law is behaving badly, some father-in-law is behaving badly, something or the other is going on, right? Now, why is it exciting? Because the trouble is there. Otherwise, imagine, suppose it kasauti is in the geeky. What happened? There was a boy and a girl. They love each other. They got married. Then the parents loved them very much. And then they had two beautiful children. And then they got immediate admissions into school or college, school. And then they did very well. They came first in everything. And then they grew up nicely and they were beautiful children. Then they got married and they got lovely partners, no problem. Will you watch this? Then why do you want it in life? This is how it is, and that's the fun of life. So joy is not possible without sorrow. So your sorrows are important. Enjoy them. Just as you cannot enjoy food unless you abstain from food. How will you enjoy your joys unless there are sorrows? So very important.
Janki by this logic, self-realization would be rather boring, right? I mean, there would be no pairs of opposites.
Yes, the difference between that and this is that there is no you to be bored. The boredom is because there is a you transacting with something. As long as that is there, you will get bored. But when there is this transaction is not there, now what boredom is that? Boredom is what? That I'm very used to everything around me. Ab mujhe kuch aur chahiye. Yeah. So that means there are two things. When there aren't two things, no boredom. Yes, Aditi.
Janki ji, if you enjoy in sorrow and enjoy joy, then again you're back to being neutral and bored.
You all are taking this very seriously. No, the thing is, it gives you something to practice against, no? Some wall practice. Suppose your husband is every day sweet to you. Then it gets, okay, I call it sweet husband. Ho gaya. But occasionally, thoda mirchi ke liye he has to fight with you. Then you will make up. Then you say, oh my God, I have such a wonderful husband. तो थोड़ा उसमें मिर्ची होती है ना, नहीं तो रोज रोज क्या, ही सो गुड, ही डज एवरीथिंग. रोज बेचारा चाय बनाता है, रोज सब कुछ हो रहा है, कुछ करे क्या इसके साथ. एवरीथिंग इज गोइंग ऑन वेल. लिटिल बिट थोड़ा नोक जोक होना चाहिए ना. तो थोड़ा यू ऑल्सो वेक अप. अच्छा अच्छा. And apply yourself. Okay, now how do I deal with this situation? And then you deal with it. Then you find success. Something or the other is going on. So, you are not bored because, and if you think that, no, now I can handle this, don't ever feel that. Because you know why? God knows this. And when you can handle whatever challenges you are getting, and you can handle them all, then don't worry. Many more are coming. They're coming. Don't worry. He's going to take care of you and make sure you're happy.
So
Can we
basically,
not
the
say-
enjoyment of the effort of the sorrow.
Yeah, you will always have a sorrow to sharpen your personality. Suppose you are capable of loving the whole world. Okay, you reach this, that you're now capable of loving the whole world. And it's a kuch bhi karo, mujhe mera kuch nahi ho. Then somebody can put nails into your hands and your feet. You say, okay, now try. You say, okay, I still love everybody. Love means you're not saying I love everybody, but you're still not agitated because you can still love. So every time you can do something, it will be, upped. So don't worry. All of you who are worried that I'll be so bored, please don't be worried. If you can handle this sorrow, you'll get a better one. See, Rama doesn't get to fight with Pran, no. Rama will get Ravana to fight with. So he can't say, oh, no, I'm so good, there's nobody to fight with. Don't worry, you will get your time. Okay.
Yes, Janki, thank you.
Momita, Vedantins as they grow would thrive in boredom though. A disciplined life seems boring and routine, but that is what we're aiming for. We are aiming for a disciplined life. That is correct. And don't worry, you will not have boredom. Life will take care of you. Don't worry, Momita. Your boredom only is there for a little while. If nobody gives you any challenge, you will end up giving yourself some challenge. So boredom doesn't come at all. In fact, at every stage, if you are constantly challenging yourself, most people, they want to reach a level of comfort and then they want to stay with it because they just want to be like comfortable. But if you give yourself a challenge, and most everybody who has come to me and saying, I want to retire, they know what they have heard. Not retire. Take your company more forward. Don't go backwards, go forward. And if you feel that, no, I've lost many of the abilities I used to have, don't worry about it because you have gained many abilities you didn't have earlier. So take up more challenges. If you don't challenge yourself, please remember that Mother Nature, who loves you dearly, will come and hand you some. So if you want to choose your own challenges, please take them up yourself. Otherwise, Mother Nature will come and take care of you. Okay. Sama Dukkha Sukha.
Can we not also say that independent happiness that you talk of in the happiness guarantee book, can we not say that even it will not be boring or routine because your independent happiness is quotient is increasing? So, I mean, it's not that you'll be bored.
No, you're not bored because you have challenged yourself. Or alternatively, greater challenges have come from the world. Whatever you can handle, you have handled. Right? Now, if you just stay there, you will lose your independent happiness. I mean, it is not going to be independent happiness. You are now relying on that circumstance to keep you happy. But circumstances will change. So the only way to achieve independent happiness is to go on upping the ante.
But the degree of happiness you have reached is independent, right? So, I mean, okay, so it can be affected by something beyond that level of independence.
Correct.
And then you again have to, but you lose the independence that you have gained. I mean, does that reduce after you face a bigger trial?
Independent means who's going to take it away from you? Or how can
you
go? See, suppose you are 20% independently happy, you will never go below that 20%. But life changes. So when the challenges were 20% and you are 20% independent happiness you're good. Your happiness is 20% and your challenges are gone to 30%. Now you have 10% trouble out of it. That's how you see, that different people under different circumstances are affected differently.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
Swastaha.
Janaki,
Yeah.
in the Omkar's question, you said since you are not there, there won't be any boredom also. Then there won't be any bliss also.
Yes, that's correct. There won't be any bliss. The reason they tell us that there is bliss is because they cannot tell you there is no bliss. A human being, in that telling you that self-realization is a state of bliss is merely a marketing program. That's what the salespeople say. The salespeople in the spiritual path are the preachers. So they keep giving you all this story that you'll be so happy. But actually, that's not true. Because happiness is a state of the mind. You don't even have a mind. What happiness are you talking about? So then the question is on what are you feeling? You can't feel. You don't have a mind. Then what are you experiencing? Well, there's nothing to experience because there's no you and there's nothing else. Now, like this, it gets so confusing and then it's not very inspiring. So they say, no, Baba, it is 100% happiness. Not recognizing that 100% happiness is equal to 100% sorrow. It's the same, right? So these are all the marketing gimmicks and tricks. Don't tell
all the
anyone.
more confusing, and then then where are we heading to?
You're heading to the truth. You're heading to knowing what this all is about. And when you do find that, you're beyond any state of doubt, confusion, agitation. So that's the other way of putting it. Instead of saying you will be happy, you say you're beyond sorrow. Tatra ko Isavasya Upanishad. Beautiful construct. Because it's so difficult. How do you explain this in a way that continues to be inspiring? Tatra ko ka shoka ka moha yen ekatvam anupashyat. I've broken up this and tatra ko moha ko shokaha. You understand basic Sanskrit? Where is there sorrow? Where is there moha? Moha means delusion, confusion. There oneness is experienced.
Janki ji,
Yeah.
to this
You're
point,
okay, Elsie, 1 second. You're okay, Elsie?
Yes, yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Janki ji, to this point of having absolute bliss at the state of realization, can we say that all the sages who got to a point which was kind of just about short of self-realization, or maybe state of realization, they declared that this is ultimate bliss? Because we are also saying that the desires kind of get to zero. And if the desires get to zero, then there is happiness. Can we say that?
You can, except that this happiness is very different from what we understand by happiness. But so therefore, when you're describing the state of realization, you describe it as complete power. That means highest productivity, complete love or bliss, that means best mind, and complete knowledge, that means best intellect. But the fact is, there's neither body nor mind nor intellect. So it's like telling a child that you study and you will have so many chocolates that you'll have the whole factory of chocolates. But that's not a correct way to describe adulthood, right? What is adulthood? How are you going to explain to the child? So similarly, what is realization? How are you going to explain to somebody unrealized? So then you express it in terms of what that person wants. Means physical, mental, intellectual. So it is bliss, but it is I don't know what to say, it's a borrowed term. Because it is true, right? That if you become an adult and you made enough money, you can buy the whole chocolate factory. But what are you going to do with the whole chocolate factory when you're an adult? Or the toy factory or whatever. I have to change from chocolate because nowadays adults are eating more chocolate than children. So toy factory, let us say. It's correct, but it's not quite right.
You're muted, Arun.
It cannot be explained by a word. It cannot be described by a word. The state of realization.
It cannot be described, full stop.
It cannot be described. However, the sages are extrapolating that, just short of self-realization, it's so blissful. So therefore, when the last thought drops, it'll be complete bliss. It's going to be only bliss and nothing else but bliss.
You could say that of a non-realized person, but of a realized person, where is their extrapolation?
Yeah. I think let's not worry about those guys. I think let's concentrate. We're just thinking too much about realized people.
We know that as we proceed in this journey, like everybody, I think, in this class would accept that as we proceed in this journey, we do get more blissful. We experience a happiness that we had never experienced before. That I don't think anybody in this classroom would deny. We can ask. No need to make assumptions. Would anyone deny this? That through the journey, it just gets more blissful somehow. So we are saying, so that will be the highest. Because every time it's getting better and better, and you begin to realize that when I claimed happiness then, I wasn't happy. This is happy. But then we fall in love with this and we say, okay, this is happy. This is very good. No, if you go further, it's even better. So it's we who are saying.
Okay, thanks.
Mamita. We are the same in joy and sorrow. Firstly, because we understand how important sorrow is. Secondly, it's just a fact of life. Just a fact of life. How can every day be the right temperature, the right breeze? You know, in Mumbai, all of us who live in Mumbai, what happened? When we all who live in Mumbai live near the sea. And the sea is beautiful to live near because you get these cool, beautiful breezes. And whoever lives near the sea has experienced beautiful, gentle breeze, that cool breeze, especially in a hot place like this. Everybody here loves it. They go to the beach, they go to the seaside, they go to the sea face, all for this beautiful breeze. They buy homes because they say, oh, the beautiful breeze here. Right? This is a big thing here. But the fact is that, is this breeze going to be 24 hours? This earth revolves. The moon goes round. Now, based on all these big factors, this breeze comes and breeze goes. When there's high tide, the breeze comes. And it's low tide, so hot. No? Now, when the breeze comes, it's so beautiful. But the fact there'll be time that there is no breeze. It's just a fact of life. It's not based on what I want. It's based on the movement of the earth and the moon. What am I making a comment on this for? What is the point? When it's hot, like Shilpa, I can put on the fan or the AC and procure for myself some breeze. But that ocean breeze is a different breeze, and it's not going to be there all the time. So secondly, because it's a fact of life. Thirdly, we are not concerned with the joy and sorrow because they are imposters. You could do an action that gives you joy, but it's taking your joy away. Or you could do an action that gives you sorrow, but it's going to give you joy. So this joy and sorrow are imposters. You could be on the wrong path and find joy. You could be on the right path and find sorrow. They're imposters. Don't get carried away with them. That is why Sama Dukkha Sukha, I'm not interested in the joy and sorrow. I'm interested in where I'm headed. You know, when these athletes or tennis players or any of these people, they go to do that practice 10 hours. I can't even believe they can do that. 10 hours of practice. Like a full working day. Surely it's not great joy. If you go to play tennis match, it's a joy. You play 10 hours of tennis, what joy is there in that? But that's taking them to where they want to. So the third reason is that they are imposters. The fourth reason is that in themselves, there is no such thing as joy and sorrow. This is only my own mind. If it caters to my desire, it's joy. If it doesn't cater to my desire, it's sorrow. There's no real thing, joy and sorrow. There's no real external thing which is joy and sorrow. The same thing to me one day can be joy, and to me one day can be sorrow. Not to other people, definitely, but to me, myself. So you can go on. There's so many reasons why this is just not a tenable thought, in spite of the fact that 99% of humanity are interested. So sama dukkha sukha, same. Means I don't, same in the sense, what's bothering me is it taking me to my goal? That's my only question. Everything else is sama. Sama means same. Swastha. Swastha is translated very often as healthy. But if you read the word itself, it is swastha. Swa means oneself. Stha means tishtati. Swaha tishtati. Being in the self, standing in the self, or rooted in the self. So swastha means he's rooted in the self. Samaloshtashma kanchana. Sama means same. Same for kanchana. Kanchana is gold, earth, and stone. Suppose he has a birthday and you give him earth, or you give him stone, or you give him gold. He's equally happy. Sounds wrong, no? Suppose it's Deepraj's birthday, and then we give him earth. Then it's Bhavna's birthday. We give her stone. Then it's Elsie's birthday. We give her gold. What will happen? All three will be equally happy. In fact, when Deepraj and Bhavna see that Elsie got gold, they'll get more irritated. Arey, usko gold aur mujhe patthar. Isn't it? So how is this even possible? It just sounds like, what is the use of saying all this? What it means is that when your attention is on higher things of life, the lower things don't bother you. That's what it means. Right? So whether you are dealing with gold or earth or stone, now Jayashree nowadays has to deal with what?
Water.
Okay, water.
Stone and earth.
Stone and earth. So will she say, no, I will not deal with stone and earth because I want to deal with gold? No, you can't deal with gold because the stone and earth will take us to the university at the moment. So what is going to benefit your goal is what you have to consider, no? Not whether it is stone or earth. At different times, different things will be important to us. Sometimes stone will be important, sometimes earth will be important, sometimes gold will be important. Tulya priya, apriya. Pleasant and the unpleasant. Tulya nindatma samstutihi. Same in censure and praise. This is the most difficult. Because if everybody is, if people are able to handle sukha dukkha, samaloshtashma kanchanaha, tulya priya apriya, you're able to handle all of this. The one which is the most difficult is ninda and stuti. We cannot tolerate this. Human beings get all worked up. You say something good about me, I am very happy. You say something bad about me, I'm very unhappy. And then when I'm unhappy, you say, how dare you say this about me? What do you mean, how dare you say about it? It's your tongue. You can use it whatever way you want. How can I put a lock on your tongue? Some people will say good things. Some people will say bad things. Some people will approve of how you behave. Some people will disapprove of how you behave. So मैं क्या करूं? Are we going to change our behavior because somebody else thinks it's good or bad? If you know that what you have done as being the right action. And that's that. Like it or not, this is what it is. And if you think you have made a mistake, say sorry. What is the complication here? Why should anything be complicated? If someone praises you, what are you supposed to do? Ask a simple question. Is this true or false? If someone criticizes you, ask a simple question to yourself. Is this true or false? If the praise was correct, what do?
Thank you.
Thank you. If the praise was incorrect, what do?
Thank you.
Thank you. If the criticism was correct, what do?
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. You change yourself. What thank you? That person will whack you one. Yeah, you're right, correct. And I'm going to continue behaving like this. No, you change yourself. And if this criticism was incorrect,
Then you change the person.
तो कान के नीचे देने का
oh my God, y'all are taking it very seriously. You take whatever action you deem appropriate. But if the praise is incorrect, at least it shouldn't, if the criticism is incorrect, it shouldn't at least keep you up at night because you know this person made a mistake. It's not bothering. Dilip Dada, you have a question? Mamita. It's the revelation that these are facts that makes us lose agitation. What I think. And we expect more of the same even when we do get agitated. There's a sort of peace still. Yes, that's correct. Once you understand that they are facts, then you are more able to digest the agitations. Okay, so that's it for today. We'll continue next time.